Hi, welcome to John's Jeep Garage. This actually is a quick video and it's about changing the transfer case fluid on your Jeep Wrangler JK. Now the specific model that we're looking at in this video is a 2016 3.6 liter Jeep Wrangler JK. The recommended frequency, and if you look at your owner's manual, everybody wants to have this one specific number, but there's a lot depending on it. First thing it says is that in the context of the transfer case, that the fluid could last a lifetime. Now, I don't recommend that. It also talks about inspection frequency on the fluid. So you start off with 30, 90, and then 150 as the frequency to inspect. But it talks about if your vehicle is being used for fleet, some type of heavy towing, and other type of impacts such as that, it's recommended to change it at 60 and then to change it again at 120. I change it at 60 and I change it at 120 no matter if I fall into those categories. So that's what I recommend. So we're going to show you that it's the same fluid as your transmission, which is the ATF Plus 4 full synthetic that we're using. And we're going to show you basically how to get in and out of that thing. Now I'm going to kind of give you a quick overview. First thing, you'll need an 18 millimeter impact socket, an impact wrench, unless you use just a 15 millimeter socket in your large ratchet, because you're going to have 4 bolts that you're going to take for the transfer case skid plate off so you can have access. You're going to need a torque wrench. And then when you're putting the plugs back into the transfer case, they're targeting about 25 foot-pounds. I got an 18-inch breaker bar here, just in case you are struggling with just your half-inch ratchet to get those plugs out. You're going to need a 10 millimeter Allen socket to help, again, your half-inch ratchet. And then we already talked about the ATF Plus 4. That's the transmission fluid, but we also use the same in the transfer case. Gloves, safety glasses, and then a catch pan will also be needed so you can segregate your transfer case or transmission fluid. Since I'm using quart bottles, I also bought this fluid pump that actually works on these bottles. I got it on Amazon, and it's funny, I saw some videos on there. It looks like this is a popular fluid pump, but we're going to use it, and you'll see just to get the fluid in that hole. It's one of the methods that kind of keeps fluid from spilling. We have 4 18 millimeter bolts holding on this skid plate. Need to remove that and then just set it off to the side. And then you have your 10 millimeter hex socket. Take the fill plug first, and the reason you do this is that you never want to drain your transfer case and then find out that you can't get the fill plug off. After that, you can go ahead and remove the drain plug, and by doing so, we then want to make sure we have our pan ready, and then go ahead and drain the fluid, and now you're going to inspect the fluid at the same time for any metal shavings. All right, so now we're going to replace the drain plug. I just go hand tight, and then I will use a ratchet to just get it into a snug fit, but my plan is to torque it at the end. All right, I'm going to put approximately 2 quarts in here. You want to make sure your Jeep's on a level ground, because the way you can tell if it's full is when it starts running out of the fill hole. And that's pretty much the way you check the level on the transfer case. All right, now I get my fill plug and I'm going to put it in hand tight, just like I did with the drain plug, clean it up. And then I'm just going to get my torque wrench and torque everything in. The torque specs is usually between 15 and 25 foot-pounds. We set it at 25, and then we'll just lock that. Wipe everything clean and inspect. And then let's move on to putting the TK skid plate back on. using the 18mm bolts. Now we're going to torque this as well. That spec is at 55 foot-pounds. All right, that's a wrap. The fluid is really clean. And if you looked at the, just for any sediments that I was trying to inspect, there was nothing. So I really understand when it says it can last a lifetime. We did not put any Teflon tape on our plugs, putting it back in. Some people may say to go ahead and do that. It did not leak, and it hasn't leaked after any test driving. So we feel good about that. Otherwise, you know, just kind of keep an eye on it. If you do, again, you know, heavy driving, if you're in water and you're in deep water, you know, it's always recommended to inspect your fluid and then potentially even change it. All right, well, thank you for watching.